Obviously, the way we're going to do it, if your team lost or your team drew, you're going to take a shot. So starting off at St. Mary's, we got Southampton 1, Chelsea 1.
My friend, will you take that shot right now?
So any Chelsea fans in the room, they need to take a shot.
boy. Take it.
Light one.
If you flinch, then you take another one, innit?
Okay, no, cool, no.
Oh yeah, drink it.
Need a straight face and that. Calm. Wait.
Yes, boy.
Jolla's panicking.
Ball up your chest, no.
Next, we had Burnley, West Brom 0-0. Obviously, the next game we had was a bit of a Liverpool 0, Everton 2.
Take that shot.
Drink up, boy.
I will take a shot.
Take
I
the shot right
got a
now.
medical condition.
Nah,
That
take
No,
that
no,
shot.
bro. Take the
Take
shot
that
right
shot.
now. Get the rain and take that shot.
Take that shot.
What do you think this is?
Alright, cool.
Where take this thing for? Eh?
Feeling my body.
My brain.
Can I even continue reading these scores? Next we had Fulham. They beat Sheffield 1-0. Bit of a something in there, that game. Not too sure. We'll go into that later. West Ham 2. Spurs 1.
Hey, where's Pascal?
Pascal.
Why is he running?
There's a
Why-
Spurs fan running.
He's gone missing.
He's running.
This guy got life.
He ran from that shot.
Lingard magic.
Villa, they lost to Leicester 2-1. And next game we had Arsenal versus Man City.
Oh.
And that finished 1-0.
Hey, big man, take your shot.
So,
I don't think I should get a shot.
Why?
the Arsenal fans
Why?
should take a shot.
I just shouldn't, innit?
You lost the game, fam.
It wasn't really a football match, was it? It was
Oh,
a training session.
training
It was a
session.
training
Here we go.
session. It was a training
Ah.
Just
session.
need to take your thing.
All
It
innit?
was a
this
training
nonsense.
session.
Take the shot.
Pep didn't want to
let me
embarrass
take it.
Arteta.
Don't think about it, just take it. It's strong.
Are you gonna feel it?
Jesus.
But I can't lie, I might be screaming at our team to win the game from now on because I can't do that again.
Fam, I'm so happy we're playing today, fam. Man can't do
Finally,
You're taking your shot today, trust me.
And by the end of the video, fella.
finally, we had Man United, Mr. Team Bruno.
No, don't start
They
with that.
defeated
Don't start with
Newcastle
that.
3-1.
Yeah,
I'm not
Daniel-
gonna lie.
yeah,
I think he
yeah,
should do
Daniel
a shot for
James-
conceding today.
No,
Obviously.
don't bring
Obviously,
that here. We won the game.
we'll talk about
You
that.
can't blame the whole game on Bruno. I'm not having that.
So
Sorry.
what, Bruno and Rashford, Team Bruno and Rashford. That's what I was
What,
hearing.
Martial?
What? And Martial.
Ooh,
So let's go a bit into that game.
It's not Team Martial.
So tell us about that game. How do you think the game went?
It was a good game. We obviously got amongst the score sheet first. Obviously, Newcastle equalised after that. But at the end of the day, you've actually worked on threatening the other team in the first couple of minutes. You got the result that we want. We got the result that we wanted at the end of the day. Obviously, Bruno Fernandes again amongst the score sheet
Alright.
in the penalty.
Yeah. Okay.
Daniel James as well. He's a player that hasn't really been shining recently since Europa League.
He turns up when he needs to. Innit?
He got the job done when he needed to. Like you said, got amongst the score sheet twice in 2 games. Europa League, Premier League. He's on good form.
Yeah, you should continue playing.
It's not just the Bruno Fernandes and Rashford show as a lot of people that
Nah,
who are not.
Dan James
who are
one
not
for the future.
Pardon?
Dan James for the future, yeah.
Not for the future, but
Then
he can
what
be.
do you do with Dan James
He
then?
can be a good utility player in the attack.
Man says
Shit,
utility
man.
player like he's James Milner, fam.
whatever.
Man's a utility player at 23.
All right, let me ask you a question.
Go on.
Was it a pen? Yes or no?
Of course, it was a pen.
Jesus.
Blood.
Why wouldn't it be a pen?
Jesus.
It's not a pen, man.
Nah, it went,
You know it is.
why?
as
Rashford
well.
went down very easily.
Why?
Exactly.
But how many times have you seen penalties get given like that?
Only when it's Man
When-
United.
Look at-
Minimum
what- yeah.
contact or no contact. It's still
Nah,
gonna
it's
be
different
A pen.
because even if look at the amount of contact for the reaction he's given.
Yeah, but there's still contact.
He's
Right?
tried.
Wait,
Has he
wait,
not
wait.
tried to-
Leg
has he
got
not tried to
bruh.
deceive
Let me
the
ask
ref?
this. Why did it not get checked by VAR?
Yeah. Why have VAR not checked?
Ask VAR.
We're asking you,
Why
fam.
is VAR never checking United decisions?
×2.
Why? Why?
I don't know. If it gets given,
Wait,
it gets given.
Do you think? Do you think
there?
VAR?
There's no.
Do you think?
Go on.
Do you think VAR favors Man United?
No.
Why
Nah,
not?
you're buzzing,
Why not?
fam.
Why is it favouring us?
How many penalties do you need to get for
Bro,
it?
when
Like,
was the last time a VAR decision went against them?
So you're saying that
True.
we're working secretly with VAR?
I'm not
That's
saying
what
you're
saying.
working. I'm just saying
I'm
something
not
is
involved.
going.
You know, because
I
if the
am,
black
man.
van shows up, I'm not
We're
involved.
fucking way for loaner and that.
I don't want to be
Huh?
involved with
Why
the black van.
Yeah, you basically are, fam.
So let me ask you this another question, yeah. Cross comes into the box and Maguire, he looks Lascelles dead in the eye and blows
Yeah,
his
that
nose
was
off
a
with his
pen,
elbow, and the VAR doesn't even check it. What do you have to say about that?
That's a pen. You know,
I don't know.
deep
Maybe
down
the,
that's a
maybe
pen.
the ref was blind, didn't he? He didn't see that.
But what about VAR? That's what VAR is here for.
Yeah, but a lot of people are saying that VAR shouldn't be, really involved in the game anymore.
But it's a clear and
What do you
obvious
mean?
error.
Clear and obvious error. It's a clear
Well,
red.
It's a
clear
red
pen.
and a pen.
It's a
yeah.
red. I don't know.
It's
I don't-
violent
it might be
conduct.
a red.
It's not even like
Man
he's
said
just-
it might be a red.
Have you
That's an
seen the
elbow.
incident in question?
Go on.
Of course, I've seen the incident. I watched the game. What are you talking about?
Oh my
So wait. That is what is in the new law? What? No intent to play the ball.
Yeah.
So that's a red card
the
by the
thing-
letter of the law.
The thing is, he's looked him in the eyes. He's not even.
He's
like
seen him
had
coming.
eyes
He-
on the
he
ball.
looks where
He's
he's
looked him in
coming
the
from.
eyes,
Either
and he's cracked him. That's what you can say. He's cracked
I
him.
love
innit?
how he's trying to defend it, fam. That's
I'm not defending it. I'm just trying to assess,
It's a clear
whether
red,
whether
man.
it was an actual foul and whether it was.
All I'm saying is, if that was Arsenal, it's a
was
red
Chelsea.
card.
That's Chelsea.
That's
100%.
Liverpool. They're looking at that once and they're saying, "Yeah, brother, you're off."
Yeah, straight red
The fact that
cards.
there was no
Straight red.
check says a lot.
But you're coming like we won the Premier League last season for VAR.
No, it's not about
to
winning.
for VAR to
It's
go
not
against-
about
for
winning
VAR
this
to go
and winning
against us
that,
and
man.
somehow put us at a disadvantage.
It's not about winning and winning that.
What?
yeah, but
So
that
it was
would
nothing.
that would change the outcome of the game. When did
Exactly,
it happen? Was it 0-0?
It was 0-0.
Yeah,
It was
it
0-0.
It was 0-0 at the time.
Maguire goes off. You're down to 10 men. You have to
Right,
take off an
right,
attacker
right.
to play someone
Yeah.
centre back.
And they get
Your,
a pen.
your captain as well.
Yeah,
And they get a pen.
and they get a pen. So you're 1-0 down with 10
but
men,
At the end of the day,
and
we
you have
still-
to make a sub
we
to
would still-
replace
we
him at
still
the back.
Probably, give him a game at the end of the day, even though we have 10 men.
What I think,
Nah,
I think that there's something fishy going on. For Maguire to do that, and he knows that VAR's around, well, I don't know. Because
Ask him,
that's
innit?
pretty
Ask him.
risky still.
Ask him.
Fam, that shot is giving me a cough or something.
Ask him.
Man's
Hey,
feeling
yeah.
something.
The chest,
Your
got
chest
warmed
is
up.
burning,
Just see
fam.
that,
Nah,
yeah,
there's
the
something
red
tickly
game's
now. All of a sudden.
That's pretty risky. I can't lie. What Maguire
Drink
done
some
there.
water, fam.
Fam,
Yeah, not yet. I need to.
it's Fergie. Fergie's
digest.
still paying the officials somehow, fam.
Do you
What,
not,
so
do you
that
not think
because-
there's referee
you think that-
bias?
You think that because
A
Fergie
million
sits in the
percent.
stands and that-
Who was the guy on VAR?
Repeat that.
I don't
What,
know.
Peter Wharton?
No, the guy
No,
on VAR,
the
the
VAR.
one
No
checking it.
clue. No clue.
I don't even know who he was, to be honest.
I'm gonna check it.
Probably Alex Ferguson.
Probably it was probably
himself.
Anthony
Innit?
Taylor,
Yes,
fam.
of course he's not
To be
fair.
honest, they weren't even at Stockley Park for that game. They packed up. They said, have a good weekend, boys. Enjoy the rest of the evening off with your family.
Nah, for real, it's
Ma-
always
Maguire
like
never
that
gets
though,
in trouble as well, fam. It's always him.
isn't it?
Exactly.
What, the Michi Batshuayi one, and he kicked out.
Oh yeah, that was a red
Nothing
as well.
doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that
And
was-
Son got a red card for the same
Exactly.
thing.
What was the other one? There was another one Maguire's involved in. What was it?
Remember when he headlocked Aspilicueta?
Exactly, another one. Even
Oh, this
man,
guy's
you get
got a
away with
track
everything.
record,
He's
fam.
got a track record, fam.
Even
He's a
remember
criminal,
Bruno
fam.
against when he kicked Konza.
He
Oh,
tried to
yeah.
break my man's leg,
Man,
and
blew
he
the
got a pen.
But Louise can run into someone by accident, and it's a red card.
Like I said,
Then
talk to
let's
VAR.
start talking about
There's
the
no
game later on.
secret payment involved with us and VAR going on.
None that you know.
Well, are you on the payroll?
Innit?
On the payroll and that.
Nah, cool. Say that, but I think there's another person we need to be on right now, and that's you.
Obviously.
That is you.
Mr. Liverpool.
Mr. J.
Liverpool. What is going on at what is going on at Anfield? In fact,
You know
4
what?
losses in a row.
fucking hell.
You know what?
After that long unbeaten run at
Innit? Some
home.
long ass.
You lose it to Burnley and then you lose 3 more games. Yikes.
No, it's a mixture of everything. You know, you just gotta
Slappers.
be you got to be honest. It's a mixture of everything. You can't blame just the injuries.
Arrogance.
You can't blame just there's no fans. You can't blame. It's a bit of everything. You know, it's the injuries. It's poor form. Players performing poorly. Maybe lack of fans. You know, it's a bit of everything.
So you think the players lack motivation without fans being around?
What I would say is that the players, they probably don't lack motivation, but when you go out to a pitch, I feel like the fans help you drive on. So when you're in a bad run of form, to get out of that bad run of
I know,
form,
yeah.
you might
fans
need
will
the
help you
you
get
might
out
need
of
the
it.
fans to
Yeah.
get out of it. And now that there's no fans, it's like maybe I think there is a actually decrease in motivation to play, because when you go out there, zero fans, no atmosphere compared to 50,000 fans in Anfield. That's going to be a big difference, especially when you're in a bad run of form. Those fans are going to be able to pick you up.
Yeah, the fans can help, especially with.
You didn't have fans last season though.
But that's towards the end of the
COVID
season. We had
title.
already won the league.
COVID title.
The league was done.
But I do
already.
no, I do agree with him because I think like in games, like fans can give momentum. Like
But
even
you
if
can
it's a
see it
second ball or something.
You can see it throughout the whole season. Teams are going away from home and getting results against bigger teams because there's no fans. There's just two teams against playing each other in a football pitch.
It's true. More away
I
wins
have to
than
agree with
home
that
wins
as
as well.
Sometimes fans will go to games that you have the home team. They'll intimidate the away team at times. You'll feel the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And when you ain't got that atmosphere,
It's normally the away
you
team
know,
that does the.
there's going to be a mixture in results. It's just
Does
two
the pressure.
teams playing against each other. There's not really any other outside distractions. But that's not the way football's meant to be played, to be honest.
Let's talk about their game though, because it was the Merseyside Derby, and I think Everton was better than you on the day as well. and
Definitely. I think that
they dominated the game.
that Liverpool, we just lacked any sort of intensity, any sort of pressure, any sort of anything within the game. We never looked like actually breaking down Everton. Whether that was them, actually they did defend well. I commend their defenders. They played well. I think Ben Godfrey was good.
He's good still.
Yeah. Michael Keane was
good.
one
All
the
of
stand-up
Mason
players as
Holgate,
well.
all of them were good. They're well disciplined as well.
Yeah.
To be honest, when they played City midweek, they were well disciplined as well. Obviously, City were just able to break them down in the end.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they still defended well against City, and they defended the same way against us. Once we conceded an early goal, it was always going to be hard to come back into the game. They got their goal early, and they just sat back and they defended well.
It's true.
What Liverpool have been lacking throughout the whole season is being able to penetrate low block teams. And again, at the end of the day, we're facing a much better team who's playing a low block. So we suffered the consequence of that. Jordan Henderson went off early. That's our biggest voice in the team as well. So
Yeah.
I think when Henderson's not on the pitch, the team lacks even more motivation. There's not really a player on the pitch other than Milner or maybe Van Dijk that can
stand
pick
out for
that
him.
team up and drive them on.
Yeah.
So I just felt like there was not really a voice on the pitch as soon as he went off.
Quick question, yeah. Wait, actually, let me let you finish. Carry on.
I just feel like there was only a few players out on the pitch that really, that really tried. I feel like Trent really tried, like with motivation wise. Obviously, everyone's trying, but I feel like players that really wanted it. Maybe like Trent,
Robbo.
Obviously, he always gives 100%. But other than that, everyone it just looked a bit passive.
Yeah. So the question I wanted to ask is, did you think it was a pen?
At the end of the day, when I first saw it, I didn't think it was a pen. I've had to watch it a lot of times. I didn't think it was a pen because Calvert-Lewin's run into his head.
Yeah, Arnold's
But
leg sticks out, innit?
The thing is, he can't get out of the way of the ball.
Yeah.
When he's, he can't get out of the way of that. Calvert-Lewin's, he should get the follow up, but when he shot the ball, he's like kind of tilting forward, and then he's taken a few steps, and then he's hit into the back of Trent, and obviously Trent's in the sliding motion already. I understand where the pens come from because if Trent's not there, obviously if he doesn't obstruct Calvert-Lewin,
Yeah.
he's gonna tap that home.
Yeah. So you can see why the pen was given.
I can see, obviously watching it back now, I can see why the pen has been given, but I just think it's unfair. Obviously people were saying consistency, it should be a red, but how are you going to give a red for that? What has Trent actually done? It's not like, obviously his foot was
No,
up,
it
but
wasn't-
it's
it
not
wasn't-
like the
it
leg.
wasn't
It's
obvious
not
for
like
him to
his.
stick his
It's
leg
not
out
like his
there.
leg has clipped him.
Yeah.
His leg is just up because he's in the sliding motion. And he's trying to, get up or get up. There's nothing really he can do to get out of the way of it.
He hasn't even seen that.
I think he should have got a red card. Not because I think it's a red card, but the letter of the law. Because
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But
David
it makes
Luiz-
absolutely no sense to give a red there.
it's actually the same thing as David Luiz. It's no intent to play the ball. Luiz got a red. Why is Trent not getting a red? I just want consistency, but I just
To be
feel
fair,
like
Trent couldn't do anything about it though.
Yeah,
Same
but the
way
thing
Luiz
is,
couldn't.
but the
Luiz
thing is,
was
the
behind him,
the
though.
thing is, yeah.
Louise clipped like
Trent
Yeah.
had intent to play the ball, but it's the next phase that obviously how are you going to give a red? He's slid in to try and block the thing, so that's intent to play the ball. He's made an intent to block the ball. It's the second bit
True.
when Trent is running when Calvert-Lewin is running and then he's hitting to Trent, that's where the pen has occurred.
Initially Trent tried to play the ball. Even
He
if-
tried to block it.
Yeah,
He
at the
tried to
start.
get in the way of the ball. That's why I don't think it's a
I
red.
think if that's Arsenal, it's 100%
No, that's not
another
There's
red.
agenda against
There's
Arsenal.
no
A
bias.
million
There's no
percent,
bias
a
there.
million
I can't
percent.
Talk about that, but
Let's
in
be
a
real. Let's be real. If Xhaka done what Maguire done, he is getting a 10-match ban.
No,
And
if anyone
everybody,
else, if
anybody
I don't
other than
know.
Varchester
No.
United,
but let's be real. Xhaka
Varchester.
can
Varchester
talk
United
to someone in the
Fernandes,
face, and he's
normal.
getting a
Fernandes,
warning from the ref or a yellow card. Obviously, Xhaka's he's a bit of a loose head, but he can do nothing, and he's just getting a red or a yellow. Like, I just thought Arsenal's always getting hard done by.
No, there's no
Yeah,
agenda
but-
on Arsenal still.
There's 100%
going back
agenda.
to Liverpool and what's going on there, I just feel like Liverpool, obviously because of who we are and because of our name, I feel like
here we
we
go.
get a lot more stick
Here we
than we should.
I
I
think-
feel like the injuries, they have played a big part in our season, and that's just me being honest. Obviously, I'm not saying it's just down to injuries and it's just down to Van Dijk. There's many more factors than that. But I'm just saying, you can't just write off the injuries that we've had this season.
No one's trying to write it off. I think Liverpool fans are trying to hide behind. the
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah.
You're trying to
You lot-
trying to put most of the blame just on injury.
But I think most of the blame is mostly on injuries.
no, but
Why wouldn't you
What's
say
going
that?
on in the training field? If you lot are not doing running up and down passion, what is there behind that?
What do you mean?
Like what you lot are just run up and down. What's this? What is it called? The heavy metal clock, this and that heavy metal. But what is actually when that's not there? What can you do? Like there's no. I don't know what's going on.
You
with
don't think they have
Liverpool.
a plan B?
Yeah, basically.
No, I don't really like the plan B. I don't really see it. But what I would say is that our system's just totally messed up. The way that we play football, we've had to put our midfielders in defence. Henderson.
But
and
why
Fabinho.
is that? Because you let Lovren go and you didn't replace him. That's not down to injuries.
Yeah, but if you're looking at it based on, we had at the beginning fit Van Dijk, Joe Gomez, Matip,
Matic.
and then Fabinho and a couple others as extras.
Mm.
So thinking in that wise, you shouldn't really need another centre back so urgently if you've got 3 first team centre backs plus an extra who can play there. It's not about replacing. You
have
need to
4
replace him
though.
with the right player.
Yeah, but you had that
shouldn't-
chance.
Pardon?
You had that chance. Why let Lovren go then?
Because he wanted to go.
So why not
He
get a
done
replacement?
his job for us. He's won a title. He's won a Champions League. He didn't feel like he didn't want to be a bench player anymore. He didn't want to be that guy that is on the bench and he just gets called up when players get injured. So he asked to leave and he got his request.
Should
We
say-
weren't going to stand in the way of that.
Should say he thinks he's the best defender in the world, so you
He
can't
did
even
once
blame
claim
him.
that.
he is
He did
still.
once claim that.
He probably is.
Rumours are he still is, yeah.
But yeah, I feel like the midfielders, Fabinho and Henderson having to go into defence, that's caused a big drop off in our intensity in the midfield. I feel like Thiago, Ronaldo and Curtis Jones, they don't complement each other inside the midfield. It's just not a match. We've got nobody winning the ball. We don't really have anyone pressing. There's no intensity in our midfield.
Can't
For
even
example,
lie.
we got Ronaldo, who's meant to be the defensive mid. I'm not trying to scapegoat him, but obviously he's a different type of player. He's not really a player to be winning tackles. He's only won 1 tackle in the last 16
He's
games.
more of like a central
Yeah, no, I
midfielder.
didn't even know
So
that.
obviously, we need somebody. We need a ball winner in that midfield. We need people that can press harder. People that Henderson and Fabinho, who players who have had to drop back. It changes our whole system. Usually, when we're playing, we play quite high. Our defenders are usually quite fast, so they can usually get back quite quickly. Obviously, defenders we have right now, Fabinho's not the fastest of players. We've had to drop our line. We've got Trent and Robertson on either of they're like extra attackers. They're like proper wingers. Like Mane and Salah are like inside forwards, and then Robertson and Trent are like the actual wingers delivering crosses from there. But when they go forward now, there's no sort of cover for them. Usually Henderson would be there to cover them. Other players would be there to cover them when they go forward. But now there's none of that. It's just the whole system is just disjointed. Obviously, not to take away the fact that players like Mane and Firmino, they've been off form. You got to be honest with yourself. They've been totally off form. So it's not just down to the injuries. It's a natural dip in form plus the injuries. It's just a bit. It's just everything. I would say.
Liverpool's midfield don't even make sense right now. Just too many people. Like Thiago is a passer.
Yeah.
Jones can dribble a bit and something like that. I don't even know
You know,
what
if
really
you can
is.
like find little pockets
Like
of
Jones is
midfield,
like
but
he's like a winger kind of centre mid hybrid.
Yeah.
He's like an attacking. He's basically like attacking mid.
Yeah, exactly.
He's basically attacking mid, but you know, you got players in there that are doing the same thing as him. Like he's like he's not really like a Ronaldo, but he's basically doing the same kind of role.
Yeah.
Not what they're supposed to do in the pitch, but they're the same kind of
Yeah,
player.
yeah.
Like if you have Ronaldo on the pitch, you'd probably sub him off for Jones.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have them starting together.
Yeah, and right now they're starting together.
Exactly.
So
And then
it's
there's
a bit
other
mad.
players that haven't been able to step up. I'd say Oxlade-Chamberlain should be stepping up to step into this role at the moment. Obviously, Jones is probably showing more than him in the training pictures. Probably why, I don't know, why he's probably starting. We've got other players like Keita who haven't been able to find any sort of fitness.
Seems like your team's not really functioning, but a team that's really functioning right now is West Ham, and I can't even lie. I don't think they'll make the top 4, but
they are threatening there. They can.
Exactly.
They're
They
on
can
form,
be
fam.
in
Since the
contention.
turn of the year, fam, I think they've lost like 1 or 2
And
games.
ever since the introduction to Jesse Lingard,
yeah,
he has really transformed that West Ham team in the attack.
I agree.
From when
To be
he's
honest,
gone,
Jesse Lingard has come in and he's done well, but you can't discredit the whole overall
No,
West
no,
Ham
no,
team.
no,
Before
no,
he,
no, no,
yeah,
no, no,
I know. But I'm just saying, you gotta, even before he joined, West Ham were doing the business.
yeah.
It's when Antonio come back as well. They
Yeah,
they
Yeah,
rocked out.
doing
exactly.
the business.
Antonio was always
Aye.
a bagsman. Like he was always, you know.
Innit?
This guy's just
He's so
raw pace
straight,
and power, and he
Literally.
PMP.
he just
Yeah.
makes
If you were-
makes it work as
Yeah,
well.
he is the
just
epitome
makes it
of
work.
PMP. Let's
He
just say
makes it
that.
work.
him and Adama. But
he
now
makes
West
it work.
Ham's doing like. You don't think they'll make top 4? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
They ain't
No,
got
I
enough.
think for
They
now
ain't
they're
got
just
enough.
going
They could-
through. No, go on.
They could definitely do Europe
Yeah,
still.
definitely,
Yeah.
Definitely do Europe, but right now-
spot, but
Our teams, their squads are stronger, innit?
Yeah.
You just come up
I
quality
think,
in it.
I think
But
for now they're just going through like a run of good games and like just maybe the last 10, 9, 8, 7 games. That's when they'll just fall off into like the
I
European
forgot
places.
they're. I was checking it that today. Obviously, Liverpool in the top 4 race, so I got to keep my eye on the other team. But obviously,
Yeah,
I was
scared
checking
of
West
West
Ham, but they got quite a difficult run into be honest. I think they had quite a few big teams in the Big 6 going into the last few games.
But you have to add into that. They've only got the Premier League to look at.
Yeah, no,
all the other,
Yeah, all the other teams have got
exactly
European
Champions
fixtures.
League, Europa, and all of that. So they've got basically a clean run, like the same way when Chelsea won the Premier League in the 16-17 season.
Yeah,
They had a
the
clear
Conte
run.
season.
Conte, innit?
When
Yeah,
Leicester won the
Conte,
Premier
yeah.
League, a clear run, so it could work
It
in their
helps
favour.
still.
Exactly,
Yeah.
always fresh every
No, no,
It's
it
week.
can
always
happen.
fresh
It
every
can
week
happen.
because
Yeah.
games gonna come every 7 days. So.
Exactly, so that could work in their favour. I think.
They got a chance.
Exactly.
Anyone can
The
win.
team
The
is
way-
good.
That's
Do you know what?
the beauty of
Do you know what? West Ham and Leicester, they're like similar. They don't have like the world beating players, but they've just got a good squad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They've
System,
got a
good
good
squad,
system and a
good
good
players.
squad.
Players.
Like the thing
Yeah.
with West Ham and Leicester, they've got a good first team, and then they've got good options coming off the bench. Especially like now that West Ham signed Jesse Lingard,
Yeah.
players like Ben Rama can come off the bench, or they've always got a good option
Another
coming off the
option.
bench.
Yeah, there's a
got
bit more
some
depth. There's
players
a bit
still.
more depth in there. as
And
well,
what I
the
will
attack.
say, going back into Liverpool just a tiny bit, I don't think Liverpool have good options coming off the bench. Like when you're looking for someone to win a game, you
Shaqiri.
got Shaqiri and Origi coming onto the pitch. You're thinking these man,
He's a world beater still.
they're probably not going to
He's
be
won you
able.
the
Like, you're
Champions
not going to
League.
think they're going to do anything. But with Leicester and West Ham, you know what they bring on. You know what Leicester, 70 minutes in, and they bring on Chengiz under, and then what? That's
No,
another option.
At the same time,
Kelechi.
I was paying attention to the Aston Villa versus Leicester
Fam,
game.
don't do that, please.
No,
Are
I was-
Jose?
No, exactly. No, sorry.
No, go on.
Kelechi, yeah, you might not think he's great, but he can nick
He's
a
a
goal.
decent
Like,
player to come off the bench.
he
for
can
sure.
score one unorthodox goal. Like man will someone will pack it at his face and he'll go in. Like, something like that. I tell you that,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
he's done it before. I'm not even joking. Like
Yeah.
he's an awkward player to play against, kind of. So it's a switch up, in it. It's a
Yeah,
switch up.
either or, he will I get his goals. So,
Yeah.
I guess he can get amongst the score sheet every now and then. But as I was saying, I was paying attention to the Aston Villa versus Leicester game, And obviously towards like the last 10 minutes, they will have, you know, a lot of players that will do the hard yards for them in the midfield. For example, Mendy, the French defensive midfielder, he came on, you know, he protected that.
But that's what
Aston Villa
that's
attack.
what I'm saying. They've got Ndidi starting, and
They
then
can-
as a
Mendy
sub,
off the
they've got
bench, yeah.
Mendy
That's what
come
I'm
off the
saying,
bench,
yeah.
and
It's
that's
the
a good
recruitment,
option to
innit?
come off the bench.
Yeah.
I think Leicester's got like one of the
Even
best
Chowdhury.
recruitment in the league, fam.
Yeah, Chowdhury as well. Yeah, like
Exactly.
basically those three players are like defensive midfielders. If you look at it that way, they can just do the job,
Just shore up the
disrupt the
That's
attack,
what I'm saying.
and then just see the game off and win the game.
I think what you just need in the league is you just need consistency.
Yeah.
To be able to get the top 4 this season, you just need to get a run of maybe a few games, just get a good streak, and you're going to be up there. You know, tables turn so much in this league. What, 1 point Chelsea are on, you know, 2 points in front of Arsenal, and now they're gone about how many points is it in front of Arsenal? It's like the tables just turn. You just need a run of a few games and you're gone. Look at Leicester. They were literally maybe 3 points. They weren't that many points in front of us. Maybe they was. I think they were 6 points in front of us. But if we had won, then they would have been level on points. I think, yeah, something like that. They would have been. They were like 3 points in front of us. But now look, they're 9 points in front of us. We lost 2 games, I think, and then now look how the tables turn.
It's true.
That's the beauty of the Premier League, I guess, guys.